Welcome to episode 1 of the podcast, the Toffee TV PODCAST. I'm not going to say that every week, the episode number, because that'll just get really annoying. It's me, Ped, with Baz, and we've got the Piv, Andy, with us.
Hello.
Or give us your full title.
Well, my real name or the actual title?
No, people don't care about real names.
L Pavotti FTBL on Twitter.
Let's get it out the way. Why is that your name on Twitter?
Oh, because it means the pivot in Spanish, which is Guardiola and Busquets' position, and I love Barcelona, so.
Okay. Piv then.
The Piv.
We're going with
El
Piv.
Piv.
No,
not El Piv. El Piv.
I mean, I feel like he's gone there.
Yeah, what can you do?
94 seconds in and Andy made it go down.
Why are you looking at your watch?
I don't know. I mean,
strictly speaking, it's not even a watch. It's one of those sports
things. Yeah, but it's got a watch on.
Okay.
True.
Right. I mean, you got your steps in while you were touching
just
it.
while I was there next to two.
Excellent stuff, right? So we've decided to try to do a podcast because people have asked. People were clamouring for it. Nobody was clamouring for it.
People seem quite positive.
But you mentioned it last week on Twitter, and people wanted to hear it. So let's just jump in and let's just get on with it. Let's just do what we do in every show. Let's just talk nonsense. So, first game of the season, Crystal Palace away, 0-0, boss, loads to talk about. So, from a tactical point of view, Andy, I mean, that's what we've got you for.
You could say.
Is, what happened?
Everton played basically 4-2-4, which made it hard to break down the low block, which me and Baz are going to do a video on later, which will be out, but essentially it made it harder for us to create space, which made it harder for us to create better chances.
Okay. What's that got to do with Everton wearing last year's third kit, though? Because I think that's the real topic, isn't it?
That was a real worry, though. If you think about it before the game, the referee is supposed to, look, he's got VAR now, but the first thing he says is he can't tell the difference between peach and red and blue, so it's a worry, isn't it, really?
I just think we went with last year's kit. We went with last year's team. I think whoever was the side must have really enjoyed that game in April and thought, let's recreate it.
Got another man sent off, first game of the season. There was a lot of, hopefully we don't finish 8th.
It was just a nod to last season,
wasn't it? Yeah. Bit of retro.
It was crap, wasn't it?
It wasn't. I don't think it was crap, though. I think it started off alright. It just descended into a little bit of crap in the second half.
I mean, at the first game of the season, you can have results, don't you? You don't always get your best performance. Teams never come out flying. I know Man City and Liverpool won by the usual scores they win by, but it's West Ham and Norwich just coming up with a bit naive. So and look, Burnley smashed Southampton 3-0. I don't expect Burnley to do that well this season. So as I said on Twitter, Mike Phelan won the manager of the month when he was with Hull and sacked after winning one more game 6 months later. So
just on that, because me and Ped were speaking about the flying out the traps and how. Why do you think City and Liverpool are able? Because Everton have had a bit of criticism, or when you try to say it's the first game of the season and players are getting up to speed, because that was always the mantra for so long, wasn't it? It's like first 4 to 6 weeks, no one's up to speed, and then everything settles down. But City and Liverpool have kind of, or have they? Is it just like you've said, those first day?
How many of their players went to the AFCON and South Copa America? Not as many as we've sort of gotten. I think with them, they've got a settled side, settled system. We played the same system for like 2 or 3 seasons in both cases. It's sort of like it's second nature to them now. Obviously, we're getting much better at that, but we're still not fully in.
No, we're not that.
It's going to take time. So. Yeah, I think the issue with Everton is I think we've got people at different levels of fitness at the moment. Richarlison's fit, but he's not his peak fitness that you want him at. So I think it's just going to take a bit of time. I know people haven't got the patience for time, but we've just got to wait. And if you want us to buy players early in the window and spend 10 million on every player and not be able to buy any other players, then that's what you've got to be patient with. It's going to take time for players to bed in.
Doesn't excuse why we wore last year's third kit, though, does it?
No, it doesn't.
Do you know what I mean? I know I'm labouring on the point.
Why do you wear like the 80s kit just for fun?
I think we should do that in the Premier League.
Basketball.
I think they should have a retro week in the Premier League where you have to pull out a kit from the
yellow 80s kit.
City wore their one at Charity Shield, which was brilliant.
To be fair, though, that kit was not built for the rigours of Premier League. It was the kit players were covered in sweat, and that just
you've just literally ruined your own idea.
A modern take on the old.
You can imagine
the H-Gate version.
Yeah, get fully back. I mean, if the H-Gate want to sponsor this podcast, we're fully into it. I mean, it is a Jag podcast, so it might.
There you go. Get the thing.
By I'm well on board with that. But I'm just visioning all those City fans wearing that kit at the match and just being covered in sweat, massive sweat patches. No, with their like helmet haircuts, like Liam Gallagher sort of. It doesn't bode well.
But a few years ago, well, the Koeman was here, wasn't he? The Sandro year. When Sandro came, that's what it's saying.
What a great year!
The Kendall years, whoever else.
The boys here, the Sandro year.
The Sandro year.
No, but the 125 year Goodison kit, which everyone loved.
Yeah,
that kind of thing.
And also, it's an extra opportunity to make money, which Everton aren't very good at usually. So that bringing that extra kit out mid-season for 2 games, maybe that 1 week.
Well,
fantastic.
What about this? The third kit that we've all seen.
Yeah.
That isn't out yet. Would that have really clashed with Crystal Palace?
But it's not out yet.
But it doesn't matter.
You're talking about a club that went to a tour in America to play the MLS All-Stars that wore a training kit because they hadn't brought the away kit out. No one thought, I know, why don't we launch the new away kit by playing the MLS All-Stars in this big game, big brand event.
Live on NBC, yeah.
No, let's wear a training kit which looks utterly crap and throw some name and numbers on the back.
Mad.
I don't think that does. I mean, the coral kit surely does not clash with red and blue. You're absolutely right. You're talking about the most. We'll talk about VAR in part 2, but the biggest sort of change in football in the Premier League or in football in England since 1992. God bless the back pass rule, by the way. Certain clubs haven't won a league since it, but you get some VAR and all this, and there's a kick clash. Come on. I mean, it wasn't.
It's a worry that the referee's obviously colourblind. You know what I mean? You start to worry, especially Everton with all the luck we always have. John Moss can't really tell the difference. Let's be honest.
It wasn't as bad as
now. It's
I'm colourblind with certain colours, but I can tell the difference between Peach and Crystal Palace's kit. But
it wasn't as bad as the old days. But I mean, was it Luton that we had to wear their away kit?
We wore Luton's kit. Away kit. We won 1-0. Yeah, Robert Farsi scored.
Which socks did we have to wear? A couple of years ago, there was another game where we had to wear different socks.
We wore. Remember at Birmingham years and years ago, we wore their kit because our kit, the referee said our kit clashed. He wouldn't let them train in it. He wouldn't let them warm up in it. They had to take it off and go skins.
It is absolute peak Everton, that though, isn't it? Having to wear your third kit from the year before.
Well, we tried to.
You know what I mean?
We tried to do like a little different slant on it though. We wore the blue shorts.
That was the problem. We should have gone all white.
We should have gone all white.
Could have.
We still never lost a league game in that kit.
Do you think what do you think the situation was at Finch Farm with the kitmen? Do you think they were like going through the bins looking for the kit
in the old skip?
They were like, hang
on, the club shop and like you got the discounts.
Yeah. That's a fanatic.
Snarden was actually wearing a triple XL shirt because that's all that was left in the shop. He was like getting caught. That's why he was slow. There was wind.
Bernard had boys. Yeah, 12 to 13.
Well, Leighton Baines has worn boys shorts for years.
For years, yeah.
No, those shorts. I mean, it's like looking at Ned Flanders when he was skiing. Like, I'm wearing nothing at all.
Stupid sexy Flanders.
Stupid sexy Flanders.
Baines does that though. You see the women with the kits are painted on, and that's what Baines' shorts.
That's why he keeps on getting groin straight.
If he wore shorts, he'd be alright. They'd hold them together. Yeah.
There you go. I mean, I think that's probably the best review of the game we could have done.
Listen, at the end of the day, Everton dominated the game. 65% possession, 10 shots to 6. But it was the key things like shots on target. We had 3 shots on target. They had 2, and we just maybe it's a sharpness that was lacking in front of goal. Whereas City and Liverpool and Harry Kane are all quite sharp in front of goal.
Burnley and Brighton.
Yeah.
I don't worry about the first game of the season. Obviously, you're not going to base your whole season on one game. I think if we're still saying we're still getting to it in like 4 or 5 weeks' time, then worry, whatever. But it's first game of the season. We didn't lose. As I said to people, we would have lost last season in that bad run we were on. Maya would have scored, or I would have scored a goal, and we would have won 1-0. The fact that we kept 11 clean sheets compared and City were the ones who kept more in 2019. I think that's impressive. We're onto something.
Starting point, isn't it? So.
Well, it would be being the first game.
Well, there you go.
I mean, the old adage was, you got to the end of the month, the window's shut, you had the first international break, and when you came back, that's when you were sort of ready to go. I mean, obviously we have the window shut before that, but I still think that's the way you should look at it, especially like you said before, Andy, when you bring in players late, you've got to let them settle down, and the likes of Gabaman and Moise Keane, or however you say his name, they've had a week of training. Delph has been out injured. Iwobi hasn't even trained yet or started this week, so
should there be as
We
well?
had two more training sessions at most.
Yeah,
so, you know.
sure.
Difficult.
It's like we said last year, didn't we? The team that started the season was not anything like the team that ended the season in terms of personnel and just the way we played. And I guess this will be the same as it evolves. I mean, the manager, talking to Andy before, and the manager, when he first came in, his very first interview we did with Everton, he said, I want to play 4-3-3. That's how I play, and this is how we... And he's not had the opportunity to do that at Everton yet, because obviously we've had Gylfi Sigurdsson, he hasn't had his own players, but there's another 7 lads come through, well 6, and Gomez have come through the door this summer to go with the 6 lads, so he's got 12 of his own players now in that Everton squad, so you'll start to see an evolution, I think, of I
don't think he's going to keep buying 6 or 7 as we've spoken about before. I think it's going to be, probably, as you say, if you've got 12 already, you're probably looking at 4 maybe next summer, and it'll just be like that instead of, and then the integration will be easy, because then you'll have a core squad, if you say about 16, who know the system. Anytime you add to that, they'll be ready to play.
That's where you go back to what you were saying before about Liverpool and City. So they don't need integration because they're only bringing in 1s and 2s now. Liverpool did all their buying last summer, City the previous summer really, so they're just dropping 1s and 2s and everyone knows the style. Someone like Rodri can go straight into the team. Liverpool didn't strengthen the first team at all, although we're going to say they would probably regret buying a goalkeeper, but you can't. They brought a goalkeeper in who was their number 2, and as far as they're concerned, he's the backup. So the integration should be seamless for good clubs anyway, and that's what we hope to have, isn't it? Is that if you've got 8 or 9 first teamers who are recognised first teamers and they all know what they're doing, then everyone else should fall into line pretty quickly.
Definitely, and it's level, isn't it? It's levels of player as well. If you're the manager now, will have brought these 12 players that have come in will be more toward the level he wants them at. We've seen a lot of players leave. I think it's 19 now have gone out, this including obviously junior players, but 19 have gone out of the squad this summer, which is a hell of a lot of players to get out. So you're seeing that turnaround, and it's like we always say, once you get to that core 15-16 of a certain level, half of last year's team become your subs, so it drags that level of the team up again, and then you do, as you go forward, it is 1s and 2s, then you're looking for game changers, you're looking for match winners, so you can go after the player and go, we're prepared to pay 80 million for Wilfried Zaha, and we'll pay you early July to get him in because he's the only player we're going after. You might top it up with a loan, or you might get another player because you've selling 1 or 2 who comes available for 25 million. At the moment, Everton are still trying to plug those holes, and we've finished the transfer market a centre back shy, we know that, but in general, if Kurt Zouma would have came in through the door, I think people would have been talking about this as Everton's best ever transfer window.
Well, I'm glad we didn't sign a centre-back, in the sense that at the point where we couldn't get Zouma, we tried for Rowe and Small on loan, which would have been fine for a year, no problem. But in the past, I think Everton would just went and got anyone just to fill the gap, and with the prices the way they are now, you can end up spending a lot of money on players that you probably don't want longer than 18 months.
And wages as well.
Exactly, the way which we find it hard to get off. So if you bought Rowe for 25 million, which Marcel Brands didn't want to do, you're stuck with him on a 3 or 4 year contract. He's on mega money at United, and as it is, so we're probably all around something similar at Everton, and then we would have been trying to get rid of him to Portugal or wherever, where they wouldn't have paid the money. So you just got to be smart, and I know fans want everything this year, but it takes time, and I know that's all we ever ask of fans is time, but it's a process of building. You can see the plan that's in place, and it's getting better and better and better.
Let's also remember we're literally 14 months into the Brands and Silver project, so you've got to just kind of go, we are where we are. What was the fella's name we discussed who's just been released? Pamela Anderson's fella?
Oh, Adel Rami.
Yeah.
Would you get him in?
No, he's been accused of domestic violence. Clubs can't take that sort of thing. He's okay as a player. It depends which version you get. He is a good centre-half, but again, he's just a body, and I think that's the problem. I think that's my issue. Is when people come to me with, Jonas Ramelow played for Atletico Bilbao in Germany, or Daniel Schwab who signed for PSV again the other day. They're just bodies. They're not people.
Mangala.
He's gone to Valencia. They're just all they are is bodies. All they are is bodies. And they're not really going to make a difference. And I think it's more of a comfort thing that people want these in than actual. All right, he'd be a good.
Well, I think the bodies. I think people wanted him as Pamela Anderson.
Yeah,
she's rocked up.
Well, if she was in the crowd, good. There's some of the Everton shirts on. I think everyone would be happy. Like Amanda Holden, it always worked out quite well. Yeah, so
there you go.
Mud wrestling.
That's what I mean. Fair play to
Well,
him.
can you imagine it, like, you know, in the Everton kit, it'd be great for the press. Not that we'd do anything with it, of course. We'd probably ignore it completely. But
Speak for yourself. All I know is she used to be on my ceiling when I was a kid. But, you know...
the poster.
Nil.
Doctor Strange.
I mean, she'd have had to have great agility if she could just hang on the ceiling.
Yeah, well, she could run in slow motion.
She could run
very well.
Yeah.
You know,
It's talent.
which I've seen
a few Everton players.
I've seen Alcaraz could run slow in very, very slow.
He was.
I don't know what he'd look like in a red bathing suit.
I think he'd be alright. I think he's
It's not an Everton kit.
he's got a bit of Banderas about him, hasn't he? So I think he'd probably be able to pull it off.
Just finally in this part, and we've mentioned kits. What's your take on cry-arsing about squad numbers on kids' shirts on Twitter?
I've seen someone like kick off about Richarlison. Was it Richarlison?
Yeah.
And I'm not lying, everyone turns on them. So it was obviously a terrible mistake to mention that you've got number 30. They were told it would be changing. At the end of the day, you can't blame Everton or the player because they were told not to get the numbers on the back.
Do you think, and I'm not blaming, it's not Everton's fault because it's everywhere. When I bought Zach's kit the other week, it was everywhere. You know, the squad numbers are subject to change until blah blah blah. Do you think the club should just refuse to print them, and unless it's your own name, unless you were getting Andy 30 on the back or whatever? If it was, I want Richarlison, do you think the club should say no, or do you think the club just?
I think you shouldn't print numbers until the squad list is finalised because you're taking a chance and it's, you know, it's not false.
Still get Richarlison on the back, couldn't you?
You get Richarlison, you wait for the number. By the way, funny side story is when my mum and dad went to Amsterdam in 1995, and when they come back with a kit, and I was open, you know, McGregor, had his surname on the back. They got Andy number 9. I couldn't wear that. No. You know, not in Liverpool, you get murdered. So.
I personally think that Everton at the end of the season should be forward thinking and should speak to the best players and go, right, what squad number do you want next season?
The issue though comes, let's say you sign Keane, he comes in and goes, well, not Keane, but someone of like a level where you sign up and they go, I'm only number 9. You see what happened with Zamorano where he had, you know, A+1 and all that. It causes problems.
Well, you go, there isn't a number 9. You say there isn't a number 9. Someone like Richarlison, they should have said to him this evening, right, you're number 30, do you want 7 next year? It's free. Yeah, I'll have 7.
Well, he wanted 7 apart.
That's what I'm saying. Dominic Calvert-Lewin, do you want to be number 9 next season? Yeah, I want to be number 9. Like Man City did with Gabriel Jesus. They announced it. They announced it before the kick came out. It meant he's going to be 9 next season. So that's a double thing. That's a thing so everyone knows. But it's also that Everton can go when that new kit comes out. You can have your name and number on the back. This was so behind them commercially. It's unbelievable.
It is though the players that they think they're waiting for. If you're bringing players in, that's what they're thinking. Is if they ask for them squad
numbers.
No,
I know, but that shouldn't matter. It's like
I agree, it shouldn't. But that is a consideration.
Well, they shouldn't have to.
I agree
because I think they offered Moise Keane 9 money.
See, that's that. And now he's got 2+7. No, it doesn't really. It's just 2.27.
Dom's obviously wanted the 9.
So, well, good for him. I've got no problem with Dominic Calvert-Lewin being numbers. I know number 9 is like this, you know, fantastic history number for Everton, but numbers in the modern game aren't
it was still Kone and Sandro had the crack at it.
Kone scored a hat-trick to give him his due.
I mean that's
it. Sunderland, one of the worst teams I've ever seen in my life, and then they battered us at
I mean, Kone made him £20 million defender, but you know, whatever.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, so less of the compo faces on Twitter, please, because we're not having it anymore.
No,
we're not. Don't. I just love the fact that, like you said, he expected everyone to be like retweeting and backing up, and everyone was like, "No, lad, it's your own fault." And what made it even worse was he went straight for Richarlison.
Oh, he did,
thinking Richarlison will be online and go, "Oh yeah, I'll get you one made in the favelas, lad." DHgate, lads, 12 quid. Jump on it. I'll box on them off for you. And everyone just shut it down. I
enjoyed it.
I really enjoyed it. I do love a good compo face on Twitter though. No, but what makes it worse is the Echo seems to just have like this. Not like the Echo will keep printing certain stories about, you know, this. They seem to have a theme of certain things.
Hasn't that lad writing his life story gets his nose on a lamppost and Met Salah?
Yeah,
he's writing a book.
Yeah,
supposedly.
Well, it'll get. I mean, anyone who writes a book about Liverpool will do really well. I mean, the Red Men basically scanned a load of Twitter, got a load of tweets through it in a book, and it's sold out. I mean, it's incredible. The stuff the club will buy is literally incredible. I walk in here every day and there's like rose petals on the floor, and they go, who's came in? You know, like coming to America. It's like, who's been here? It's like, no, we just felt like rose petals because that's how much money we've got from selling books and t-shirts. I mean, not bitter or anything, but
their fans love it.
We have got t-shirts available, by the way, if you want to.
We have.
You know, if you want to.
But their fans will buy anything. They love it. They buy into everything.
But our fans would buy stuff if it was more available. Like, you've got T-shirts which are just as good or better than any Everton, because Everton don't really do player T-shirts, do they? But they've got that Salah one, you never give up, whatever they had last season, sold out. We could do
but that
stuff
wasn't
like
even
that.
a T-shirt. That was something he wore.
And then he had the Liverpool badge on the bottom the next day,
And then the next day.
And then I've seen every idiot in the Swan wearing it, yeah.
Well, you could get them in Primark. You literally could get them in Primark.
There was a Liverpool shop in the Swan called Toys R Us. Since it went out of business.
There is. It's next door to my dentist.
Yeah, there you go. That's,
you know what I mean?
Since that went out of business, someone's popped up.
Someone popped up. Yeah. It was used to be a Ladbrokes.
Yeah.
And there's a fella, isn't there, who owns a shop on one corner which it sells the tackiest gear you've ever seen in your life for your house. They're like Betty Boo statues and stuff like that. Yeah. I feel like this is overrunning and we're getting off the point, but that's the point of a podcast. And on the corner, he used to basically have like no shop you could go in and buy anything in.
Yeah, yeah.
So what he did was, now that's it. I mean, what would you think you would turn a shop into generally now? Think of it. No, like we have themes every other year of like a kind of shop.
Don't put me on the spot.
What's the big thing now that people will you can just buy into? Come on.
Furbies?
No. E-cigarettes.
I thought that's come and gone.
No,
the fellow owns the e-cigarette shop is a different fella.
No, it's the same fella.
Well, he owns two shops in the Forceful shops in the
Swan.
He
owns loads in the Swan.
Okay. He owns one Robbie Fowler at the Swan.
Owns one on the corner. That one there.
He's got his own.
He owns one further down, and I think
better not own the Fruity.
No, Fruities are still independently owned.
Oh, okay.
So and then there's the shop, which it just basically, when they were in the Champions League, it turns into a pop-up shop.
God,
so you can get like life-size Mo Salahs, which my dentist bought, and I'm sitting here going, like, looking at Klopp's teeth, thinking that's not a good advertisement for my dentist, is it? And then
couldn't say anything.
So basically, they've gone down to Toys R Us when it basically shut up shop by the Costco and just robbed the banner and stuck it on their shop. Jeffrey is in the Swan.
It's empty now, and all it sells is Liverpool flags from 4 months ago. Yeah,
that's amazing.
Which they clearly are still buying.
Yeah, they are.
There you go.
But it's in a good place though. It's not far from the motorway. People come on, they get lost. Just going to Queen's Drive, you know what I mean? Coming from the airport.
Well, that's it. No, they swear the Swan because of the traffic.
Yeah.
Which is their mistake, because they're missing out on the Stag and Rainbow and the Marks and Spencer's Aldi connection, which is.
That's a good duo. That
it is.
It's got nothing to do with Everton, but yeah, it's great.
I mean, what has been on this podcast? So there you go. Compo face. If anyone's got any good examples of compo faces, send them in, please. This has been part 1 of the Toffee TV podcast. We'll be back right after this to talk about VAR. Welcome back to the Toffee TV podcast. I don't know if we need a name, or do you think that's good enough?
That's well good.
I'd leave it.
Toffee
TV podcast says what it is.
What it is. Can't go wrong with that.
That's it. Yeah.
You don't want to call it the extreme version of something Toffee TV podcast. Just one Toffee.
The extreme version of the Compo Face podcast.
yeah, exactly.
Fella who owns loads of shops.
You want to be Ron Seal says what it does on the tin.
Exactly. Sometimes people
not a sponsor, by the way.
People come up with some clever name. I mean, I'll call it whatever. If someone wants to sponsor us, call it whatever.
Yeah, it's fine.
I don't know if
sponsorships are available.
Jeffrey in the Swan podcast is available. But
well, there's now a new shop in the Swan, just as a little bit of a side called Electro Fag.
Really? Yeah. I'm not being funny, we're really pushing the Swan here.
The Swan, I mean, if you haven't been the Swan, go to the Swan.
It's a great place.
It's fitting. It seems to be ticking every box.
Other neighbourhoods are welcome.
The fella who owns that shop, just go back.
There we go. Right. If you tell me he owns Tesco, I'm going.
No one Tesco before Tesco got built,
and it was there,
and it was the bill. But he had the shop that said, didn't it say?
It's a different fella.
He said a different. This is a different fella, and it had like London, Paris,
Old Swan.
Always think
clever.
Always think like Del Boy, essentially. VAR first weekend use in the Premier League. Andy, how did you think it went?
First 2 games were okay, Liverpool, Man City. Then the Man City game, that ridiculous offside, which I think that's more the offside rule in VAR. Apart from that, pretty good. The penalty, the goalie was off his line. Declan Rice was encroaching.
But it was for Declan Rice's encroachment.
But he was off the line.
Because he kicked the ball.
Yeah.
That's why they had to retake it. Rice would have left the ball, he wouldn't have retook it, he said.
Yeah. So, it was alright. I think you're going to still have teething problems where people go. And I think in the Man City game, he was checking too many decisions for me. But apart from that, one goal got disallowed that looked just about onside, and another goal that looked offside was allowed. So it was a bit of a weird one.
Isn't that where? So that's where we spoke about this on a couple of our shows on Patreon. Is that's where maybe the rules got to change so that you can get that daylight. Andy Gray pointed out a really good point on his Being Sports show, saying that
recross it, Gray.
I didn't quite point that out.
Should have.
He should have. Yeah. He pointed out that it all comes down to, because he's been in TV for so long, it all comes down to where, almost like where the producer stops the tape. So he went through that goal, that offside goal, frame by frame, and he showed that there's like 4 frames, and in 3 of them Sterling was onside, and he did it for the next goal, and he showed that in a couple of frames for that Sterling was offside. So it all comes down to the frame, and if it all comes down to the frame, then it becomes subjective. So if it's subjective, let's take that out, and let's have a margin of error, and that margin of error could be daylight, literally, between the players. So if we're standing side by side and there's no gap between us, then the forward should be onside.
Yeah, agreed.
And it should be, if there's light between you, essentially, then you're offside. Because if we can get it down to the absolute bare minimum now, why does it need to be so precise?
Have you seen, though, what worries me as well is the VAR thing that you get shown is never as good as the Sky view. The Sky view seems to have it from 4 or 5 different angles, and the VAR view seems to never show you the clear view. Llorente last season from against Man City, for example, was an handball. And Sky showed you the handball, BT, sorry, because they got the Sky Champions League. But the VAR just completely couldn't see it.
This is something that Gary Neville pointed out last week when I went to the Sky preview. He that was one of the things he pointed out. He said, when I see something, I'll shout for something and go, that was definitely this, definitely that, and we'll see 4 or 5 different angles. And then he said, then at our time I get shown another one, and he said, I feel like a dick because I haven't been given this angle and I've been shouting, oh, that's not a goal, or that is a goal. And he said, so how can, if I've got all the angles in the world from Sky and I've got literally all this time to look at them, how is a guy who's got 2 minutes or less than 2 minutes supposed to go through all these angles, especially when he's just an assistant referee? He said, I've got producers who know all this stuff and they're not showing me the right angle. So that is again another little.
I suppose it's never going to be perfect, though, is it? Even in the NFL and the NBA, there's still ambiguity, which they've had it for years since the replay. There's still ambiguity on certain decisions where it comes down to, again, one man's interpretation. So It's this season's going to be a bit of I think it's going to be a learning thing. You're going to get some controversial decisions, I'm going to guess. You're going to get some games that decide. And what really hurts is when, like, Sterling's half celebrating because he's questioning whether he was offside or not, and the fans are going, it's killing the passion, because like that, you're not going to get games where the last minute goal goes and everyone's going to be walking to the scoreboard waiting to see the VAR, doesn't rule that out, which is a shame, really, because football's all about passion, isn't it?
Yeah, I'm with Ped in terms of the rule change is the biggest thing. VAR, like you say, isn't the issue there, it's the rules. Whereas if you're saying, certainly in the Sterling thing at the weekend, where it's a shoulder, it's a millimetre because of a shoulder, that to me is berserk. If it's going to be his foot or his head, because he can score with both of them more often than not, then but even that, I would still have the old, if you're in line, as long as a bit of your body's in line with the defender, you're onside. That's how I would have. Then everyone knows. Everyone knows.
If the ball's only it's got to be fully over the line, hasn't it? So it should be sort of like that. That's a binary rule. That's
like daylight, though, isn't it, with the ball?
Exactly. So, but it should be the same for offside instead of basically he's offside by a shirt's length. You can't. That's not fair. And it's a consumer sport. Goals is what people want to see. You need to favour the attackers.
The goal line's actually, that's a good point, because when you think of a goal line, and you think of the goals that we've seen that weren't given last season, the Man City and Liverpool one is the one, isn't it?
Superb.
The ball is that one, certainly. Most of it was in the goal. Most of it, but it was a tiny bit. So that could almost be a way of looking at it. If you can put a goal width down between, and a body part is a goal width away, and that's offside, then people will go, that's a fair measurement. Do you know what I mean? Like, there was an actual measurement. Now if we can draw lines all the way down the pitch, why not say that? Why not say you've got to be a goal line offside? A measurement that actually gives you a defined thing. So I know people will go, well, what's the difference between that and an armpit? Well, there is, because an armpit's that's still very subjective, because that's what I'm saying. At least if there's a measurement, there's an error, then a margin of error. At least you can say, well, on this still he's offside, and on this still he's offside. All 4 say he's offside. Not where you go, well, that's subjective. So apparently they're talking about it. Apparently they're going to have a meeting about it already.
Well, that's the beauty of it, isn't it? Luckily it didn't affect Man City,
No, they destroyed
and I
them.
say luckily.
But at least West Ham got something to cheer about.
And West Ham had something to
Well,
cheer
got
about.
back in the game.
for the
Now
day.
Goodison, we always love a bad decision against us because it gets the crowd right into it. So, you know.
But the thing is, the beauty of that decision is that because people have seen its millimetres and the way the lines have gone from his shoulder
Sure, we have to
down,
measure lines.
which is nonsense to
Yeah.
us as fans as well. It's good that that's happened in day one because it will make people look at it. There's been a reaction. People have been like, that's ridiculous. It'll make them evaluate. And the best rules are the ones that are able to be slightly altered.
Well,
as
the
you go
rules have been
forward.
set based on what a referee can and can't see. Now with this instruction, maybe the rules have to be altered because of the technology.
Yeah.
And that's, I'd say that's part
Yeah, I
of
think
the
that's what-
process.
I think that's what we're talking about.
Yeah.
Rules are there to help the referee
Yeah.
when we didn't have VAR. They're there to make it easier for him so we can see offside. Because that was the mad thing about that goal. Gabriel Jesus is like 5 yards offside in old money, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he's not the one
involved in play,
he's
yeah.
not the one involved in play.
And that to me is more of a nonsense rule than your arm being a millimetre
So that's what I'm
offside.
Because you can interfere with defenders by the way they move, yeah.
So now you have to make some. Maybe now we have to take the rules back and look at it and say, right, we don't need to be so accurate with this now because we've got a system that allows that to be called straight away. And I think the rule that all the decisions were right. Like do you see the one in the Leicester game?
Against Wolves.
The Donker one.
Yeah.
So header corner comes in, header hits him on the arm, bounces back down, the Donker sweeps it in. It's disallowed. You know, Wolves manager, Wolves players come out going it's a nonsense, but it's handball. It's right by the letter of the law now.
Yeah.
That's one that is absolutely right. Okay, you know, in the Championship it's a goal, isn't it? If he sweeps that in, that's a goal. But we've got the ability to see those kind of things now. So in terms of the rules, they're all spot on. It's just, again, it's that idea of adjusting people to the rules. I don't mind. The only one I don't mind is one you've already sort of talked about. Is that idea of after every goal now, we're going to have to wait a minute just to see.
It takes the enjoyment slightly. Obviously, football, it's never going to ruin football, but it's just, I suppose we want it to be perfect, so it doesn't. So you're not going to have to go every decision, because every goal's going to get checked, but it's going to be one of those ones if it's just like questionable. And that's what you don't want.
We're all used to that. We're all used to seeing goals disallowed, aren't we? That's fine if you celebrate a goal and then you see the flag up, you go, oh. But now we're going to have to celebrate a goal and we will know that it will be checked. So there's always going to be that area where you're going to be like...
But then I suppose it's margin of error, isn't it? If more often than not you celebrate the goal and the goal's given, your natural human instinct will be to celebrate the goal.
Yeah, it will do.
Then if it goes VAR check, you know, you might be like... Because let's be honest, if Gylfi whacks one in on Saturday from 25 yards, they're not going to check VAR.
You know, they shouldn't. They will do, but they
They
shouldn't.
will, but it's not going to make any difference. It's a goal unless
Unless there's a foul
it's
off the
nicked
ball,
off or
but,
foul, but it's not going to happen. So that's what you'd have to look. You'll have to celebrate that way. You
can still celebrate that. I'm just talking about those goals.
No, but I know what
they're
you mean.
bundled in on the line, say, and the question whether there's a hand on it or.
Well, look at. I mean, the biggest example of it last year was Man City, wasn't it? Aguero in the Champions League.
He was offside.
He smashed it. Yeah, but thing he was walking back, so.
No, the thing I found about that was fit. To me, I hated it because obviously City played so well. It was such a great game, but that there was actual daylight. You could say, you know, whereas the one on Saturday.
No, but that's what I'm saying. It was in the old way. It was a goal, but they looked at it again. And my only issue with that whole, because that was one of the best games I've ever seen. Yeah. My only issue with that goal was, well, it wasn't that goal was offside, but I wanted it given.
Yeah, because they would.
Well, for two reasons. A, because I wanted City to beat the shite, and but for the other reason was that the Llorente thing, which you've already mentioned before, that goal, the angle we all got as fans, or just as viewers, you could see as playing.
That'd be handball this season, wouldn't it?
It would be. Exactly. But the referee didn't get the right angle.
No, exactly. I think we all want to. I think certainly for the offside, I want to be in a position where, like that City goal from last season, is that literally the second that happens, you almost want a virtual flag to your buzzer to go off, just like the goal line. Whether that happens, I'm sure it will. And there's different ways of doing it. You know, whether they have a camera that keeps up with the play, you know, on a track moving down the pitch, or something that literally, so you don't have, because like you just said, that goal was definitely offside once you watch it again. But in the moment, it wasn't. They celebrated, the place went mad, and that would be such a come down. You'd want to be in a position where as soon as that ball goes, the referee goes, blows his whistle and goes, no, that's offside. I literally the centre.
I wonder if you could have two two like
a horse
robots
racing, like a horse racing
down
stuff,
either
it's
side, firing a line across.
Yeah.
And so
and they have to avoid it, otherwise it'll kill. Oh no.
Pew, pew.
That's a different. That's you two in your Marvel films. No, I don't know how it would ever be done, but if you had two and if the beam goes across and if you've gone ahead, it's
you should have
offside.
sensors every 5 yards. You could. Well, hey, listen, we're creating technology here.
Yeah,
So
this is.
I feel like Elon Musk.
Well, I mean, the likes of Liverpool, Liverpool could just have Pete Price running around with a big flag because they haven't got a big screen. VAR check.
Well, that was the weird one. At Man United, the woman was like, VAR check happening now.
What, Manchester United?
No, she was very,
Manchester.
She was very
like,
cold.
was she like Holly out of Red Dwarf?
No, she was like, when they have when you play. It'll take a while to remember this. When you have European games, and
what are they?
Yeah. When they have like that, they have like so. Substitute is and then they have. That's what she was like. She was like the translator. They did a lot. They'd gone. Do you want some overtime, love? Want some overtime?
Just speak posh.
Just speak posh.
Quite a bit robotic.
Like a self-service checkout. Do that. Here's your change.
I'm just thinking of Pete Price at Anfield running off.
I mean,
flanked by Joe and Sol with their Funko Pops, just giving them a...
Definitely.
Hi, Pete.
See, that's a weird one. Know what I don't like?
What?
Do you ever have that when you go to a self-service checkout and they change the voice on it to someone famous?
No.
Oh, they did it.
Where'd you go?
Max Spencer's.
Wait, Rose.
Max Spencer's. They did
And
it
he calls other people Tories. Go on.
They did Marks and Spencer will have, share all their revenues with their staff. Do you when
Other stores are available.
Do you know? Do what you want.
Unless
Go
Marks
where
and
you want.
Spencer's one.
M&S money.
Yeah.
Other good money places.
We'll eat.
I'll eat it in balloon cakes. The birthday balloon cake.
Colin the Caterpillar.
No, Colin's nice. But that balloon cake.
Percy Pig sweets. I'm all over.
I know, but the balloon cake.
The orange aid, the
But anyway, going back to what I was saying,
Marks and Spencer tuna fish cakes are gorgeous as well, by the way. But carry on, sorry.
Never eat them in here.
When
Britain's Got Talent was on, they changed all the voices on the cell. So you had what's her name? Shit. She used to be on Strictly as well.
Oh, yeah.
She was
Alicia Dixon.
Alicia Dixon. She was like, "Hello, welcome to Mark," and you were like, "No, I just want the normal robot woman who now works at Man United. I don't want you."
Well, she left VAR. The pull of VAR.
Sorry, I've had a job offer. What is it? VAR
at Manchester United.
It's a big move for.
It is.
In the robotic voice business, that's a big step
Marks and Spencer to Man United. It's everyone's.
It could be Operation Goodison for him next year. I know.
Oh,
that's where she started.
Are we gonna have Operation Bramley Motor?
Yeah, exactly.
Operation Bramley. We could have it in Dan Mice's voice.
The tide is coming in.
Rising tides. Hey, Evertonians, Dan Mice here. This is Operation Bramley Motor. I don't even know if he speaks like that.
Oh, maybe he talks like an Italian bingo, like he spoke the other day. Well, he's from New York, so he must speak Italian.
I didn't know
but his name, he's got a Mexican name. Baz
did not say.
Hey, what's the matter with you? My name is Pablo Domingo.
It was Keith Van Santi, wasn't it?
No,
it wasn't. It was Santiago.
Yeah.
It was Thingy Keith Santiago.
One of our patrons. Big shout out to you.
Keith Santiago.
Domingo.
But Baz was like, "Hey, what's the matter with you?" I was like, "He's not Italian."
I said he might have been, and it's like New York. That's what I said. But he was going, "No, he's Mexican." You don't know he's Mexican. I didn't know he was American. He could have come, for all I knew.
Could be like
he could be from Scotland. Could be from Scotty Road.
Come on. Well, Latin brothers out there.
Put it this way, he'd waded through a river to get in the country.
Could be from Steeple Street by Goodison. Be anyway, VAR. So yeah, so we'll get obviously Saturday. It'll be at Goodison.
It will.
And see how it goes. But in general, I think the weekend it wasn't too bad. It was better than what we saw last season.
None of our rivals for six really started. Man United won 4-0. Arsenal won 1-0. But Watford, Wolves, and Leicester. Watford got beat.
I think personally, I think the Leicester one was probably more controversial than the Man City one. Just by the way.
The nature of the score as well.
Yeah, the way it happened and the way it fell in the game. And also. It's mad how many times you hear people after the Conor Cody come on after the game and he was properly shocked by it. Like the rules hadn't been explained to him. Like handball now is handball.
Came through the Liverpool youth system, so handballs don't really count.
No,
to be fair, Stefan Honcho and
But the whole
Alan
thing,
Hansen
the whole thing with that is though the players are spoken to before the game. They know that.
They have briefs on the rules,
But I've seen players still moaning.
Because any advantage to winning it,
Well,
it's all trying to get
the Charity Shield. Liverpool were moaning with Van Dijk's thing that didn't go in. The bar and come down, and it wasn't even close to going in really, and they were moaning.
That technology's even better than VAR.
Exactly, and the referee is like, well, I haven't give you the goal, mate, because me thing didn't buzz. Yeah. So it's not a goal.
Oh, it's against Liverpool, that though.
No, but I just mean I see it not just Liverpool. I've seen it in other teams.
Against them as well. By the way.
I've seen other clubs, screaming at the ref with the same thing. It's like there's technology literally there to tell me whether that's gone in, and it hasn't gone in. So it's save your energy and just go and play the game. Which is what Morgan Snyderland have done at the weekend, by the way. Said the punch in the floor literally saved that energy. Not got booked.
Go and see Jeffrey in the Swan. He'll sort it out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Maybe.
That's the question for everyone. There you go. Part 2, VAR. Let us know your thoughts. Part 3, we'll be looking forward to Everton's first home game of the season against Watford. Welcome back to the Toffee TV podcast. Part 3, final part. First home game of the season. Andy, what's your most vivid experience of Everton's first home game of the season?
Well, I remember a few, but like the one I was looking before, trying to remind myself, and I guess that Moyes last season when Fellaini scored against Man United, I think it was a Monday night game, wasn't it? Yeah. That was probably the best game Kagawa had ever played for Man United. He was fantastic that night, but the crowd was well up for that game, and all I remember the bad memory from that night is we were singing we're going to win the league after the games. Obviously, first game of the season.
Great times.
Quite sarcastic, but saying that, I had a little look at results from that season. We started fantastically. We just drawn too many games, sadly, and that's why we didn't really get finish high.
That's exactly why we didn't win the league that year.
Yeah, we would have won the league after the first game. Looked like we were going to win it.
And it was a good last season. Unfortunately, obviously Moyes decided he was going to leave, but I can just remember Fellaini was an absolute force that season. It was good.
I thought we were going to win the league when we beat Newcastle 2-0. Gary Speed and Duncan just looked like they were there.
Yeah,
and then when we were 2-0 up at Old Trafford, like 3 days later, I thought, well, no one's going to stop us. No. Clearly, I mean, by the time full time come, someone had stopped us. But I thought no one's going to stop us. But we were brilliant that day, especially when Shearer had gone to Newcastle and all the talk was about him, and Duncan just showed him how to be a centre forward that day.
And they bought him.
Shearer's goals obviously spoke for themselves at the end of the career, but just that was a little highlight of what Dunk could have been if with a bit more consistency. And Gary Speed was amazing, and you just looked at that team and thought we're not going on to special things here.
You forget how good Gary Speed was, I think. Like, obviously so much time has passed since he played for Everton, but he was such a fantastic. And now he'd be a great, you're £50 million player. Easily. Now he's such a good player. He could do everything in the field. And I suppose a lot of the younger fans don't remember Gary Speed, but he was such a good player. Just
sad the fact that he was the way it was. His end to Everton was tainted, and how it was the public relations around it, where to make him the bad guy, which since we know it's not strictly true, and very much still had Everton in his heart, which is, I mean, that's the saddest thing, isn't it?
The sad thing as well is he looked like he had all the attributes to be a top manager. He was fantastic for Wales, and I, obviously he was one you looked at and thought he'd be a great Everton manager, and things obviously. Other things took over and stuff we obviously didn't know about that he'd had throughout his life, and sadly, he couldn't do. But what a fantastic footballer! But just when you're looking at like the first home games, you're trying to go. Mine, obviously, I'm a bit older, so mine are going to go back a bit more. But ones that I'm talking about games that stick out. I'm not that old. Games that stick.
Ted Seagar, great
goal. I mean, literally, I'm going to mention 2 games now, and you will know them because you were probably there. So there you go. The first one, Spurs, when we'd just won the FA Cup. So the year we won the league in 84-85.
I don't.
But I was 10, 11. So you'd have been what? 4. Well, you were like 4 or 5. You shit.
I wasn't even listening to me dad's side.
Well, you weren't. No. But that day, we just won the FA Cup, won the Charity Shield, and it was like, things are on the go. We had Spurs at home. We took the lead 8-8 penalty after we'd run round with the Cup and the Charity Shield before the game. And we got beat 4-1.
I've never seen I've seen the FA Cup, of course, but never anything else. It's
that, the euphoria after going 1-0 up. And then an hour later, we were 4-1 down, and it was like, hello, Everton. Yeah. And then the Cotty one, because...
Imagine Twitter.
Oh God!
That's all anyone ever said.
How would it be gone?
Imagine Twitter.
How would it be gone?
Certain managers never would have stayed at Everton, or even
Howard Kendall wouldn't have had the chance, mate. He'd never had the opportunity.
To be fair, in those days, cushions were Twitter.
Cushions were Twitter. Cushions and garages paint in his garage and get out of our club and all that. But Tony Cottee hat-trick. Obviously Howard had left, Colin Harvey was there was money. We bought a few players, and Cottee, we bought West Ham striker, 2.2 million. 27 seconds, wasn't it, or something, 28 seconds, and scores a hat-trick, and I went to Coventry the week later and seen the greatest goalkeeping display I've ever seen from Neville Southall. We won that 1-0, Cottee, and you're thinking, 2 games played, 4 goals scored, none conceded, top of the league. It's our year. Yeah, it wasn't.
But you would, the thing about that is, though, you would think like that, because we
just won the league.
We won the league and we'd won cups and stuff. And
so you were in that. It was almost like it was just expected. It was just like, yeah, we beat these today, and then
since then.
But we've had few. I know, like a big, like anticlimactic opening days of the season, like Crystal Palace with Lombardo.
I'd just flown.
Why does players like that always score against
always
us?
I'd just flown back from America. I'd been in America for 6 weeks, and I'd just flown back. And I'd you know what? I didn't have a penny to my name, and my mum just give me 20 quid and went, "Go on, hold the match." And
can't get sick for that now.
Well, no. And I just, you know, when you're just like, it was awful. It was worse than awful. It was like we were absolutely terrible. We've had worse opening days.
Yeah.
But there was nothing about us at all.
It was
nothing.
Flat. Billets had a goal disallowed at 0-0 off a corner. 97, 98 corner, and it got disallowed. I don't know what for. But after that,
see, this is why I haven't got like great memories of. I do like Duncan Ferguson. I've seen some great goals by him, but this is why I don't have like these great like long-term memories of Duncan, because the style of football he played when he was in the side, maybe it wasn't his fault. Well, Steve Dunsworth spraying, and when I say spray, not like a beautiful culture ball, it's just smashing it.
Do you know when people say like it was Duncan's fault? Because the way we played that way because we were crap. We played that way because the players
we had the fella up front who was really good,
fantastic in the air,
so we just knocked it up.
And we always had
some of his feet as well. To be fair,
but don't forget as well, genuinely, when we had Duncan, we always had a midfielder who run past Duncan as well. So actually, it wasn't just Duncan; it was people like Don Hutchinson, Gary Speed, who would run past Duncan. Unzi, bless him, was at a point where he couldn't really run anymore. I mean, once
he played for another 6 years on top of that.
I know, but he couldn't run, and he always got the ball and just always angled it. And if Duncan flicked down, someone would run through. And
I think what you look at now, and you're looking at those first home games, it just proves that we don't start brilliantly, do we? Even under Moyes, one that'd stick out under Moyes would probably be Wayne Rooney's debut when we drew with Spurs 2-2. Right, yeah. For Ferdinand, Mark Bender.
Was it the year that Rooney scored as well when Yobo passed it back?
That was for United, wasn't it? Well, that was 3 days after Villarreal, wasn't it? Yeah. So we haven't had a great time on our first home game. Martinez's first season, we had West Brom, and we just drew with Norwich. I was going to America and got on a plane, like we'll beat these, and got off the plane, like checked it, and it was 0-0. And I was like, we just drawn, and then the week later we had Cardiff and 2-0. So we haven't really.
And that kicked off after the international.
It did with the Gareth Barry and stuff, and then we had a great season.
Say one that was good. It was when we bought AJ, and there was a lot of hope around, and we beat Watford, and it was the spawniest goal ever. I mean, I don't even know if it was given to him in the end.
Deflected.
It took a mad deflection, but
Arteta scored a pen, didn't he?
The place proper.
He never scored in pre-season, and people were starting to talk, he's not scoring pre-season, like people over-evaluate the pre-season now, and he was fine for us. And the fact that obviously Mourinho stopped us getting pens probably killed his Everton career, but
Wenger it was.
Well,
Mourinho as well.
Warnock was the way.
But that was a year that because for years we'd gone, we just need a striker, and then we finally found a striker, a proven striker. It was brilliant for us.
He never did strike as well, did he? Sadly, it's just, he was great. Don't be wrong. You can fault Moyes about certain things, and strikers are one of them. But
it is weird, isn't it, the first home game, because I think like Saturday will be a good one, because no one's been to. We haven't even had that friendly at home, which I don't like, to be honest. So it's fresh going back in, and there's a lot of new faces. But I think a lot of times the first home game, just because we don't generally start well, it's like anticlimactic. It's like the Koeman one, with against Spurs. Yeah. Ross scored the free kick after 5 minutes, and Everton played really well that day. It was actually one of our better opening day performances, and we did exactly what he said. We ran out of steam about.
We did beat Stoke when Rooney getting a goal.
Yeah, that was a weird one, wasn't it? Because it was like a scrappy win,
scrappy
win, but it was great because Wayne But picked from Shaqiri in last minute.
That was amazing.
That was a good opening home game and opening day because Wayne come back and scored. But
apart from that season I mentioned there with Flynn, I don't think we've ever had like a start of the season like all guns blazing. So usually it starts around.
Remember when
we beat Wigan 2-1, didn't we? Because that was another times in America. We won 3 games. No, we won the first 2. Beat Wigan, and then I come home and we had Reading away. And we got beat 1-0.
I remember when we won 3 on the spin. We started the season. We played Southampton. We won 2-0. I think I went to that.
92, the first Premier League season.
And
Beakley scored.
And then we won the second and third game, and then we lost the next 3.
Yeah.
Played Newcastle, I think, our 4th game, and they beat us.
We beat City, didn't we? Beat City 1-0. We were top of the league, 3 wins out of 3.
City not the same team as they were now.
No, very much. But I mean, everyone just likes to go to the first game so they can all go on the ale. So back to
the regular. It's back to the
regular thing.
It's not your routine, isn't it? Because it's only 3 months a year where you're not on that routine. It's a bit of a,
I think for a lot of people as well at the weekend, the Palace game's gone now, so you're looking forward to a home game. We've got new players. That's a big thing. It's the new players, isn't it? We've got a striker which everyone's wanted, so there'll be a lot of excitement around Moise Keane. There'll be a lot of excitement around seeing Jean-Philippe. I know we didn't have a great game last week, but him coming into it, Fabian Delph's fit again. So, the play
fake rivals as well.
And we've got fake
snake rivals.
What is it? Is it the Corey derby now? It's the silver derby last year. One from them. What are they going to bring this time? Like money bags and go.
32 million or something. Gold bullion.
You can't get the money out. You can't buy the Corey.
They've conceded 9 goals in the last 2 games.
They haven't had a clean sheet in 17. I checked. So Everton, come on in.
So we were
down. Price is right.
Well, last Saturday, Joe done the thing. It was the first goalless draw Everton have been involved in for 21 years. Opening day of the season when we drew with Villa 0-0 in '98. So
I think that was no, it wasn't. That was my second 0-0.
That was put. John Collins missed the pen after 6-7 minutes, and
he should have been better for Everton.
Yeah, but Saturday, big tough game. They're a big side, and for Everton, we need the win because it's get everything up and running again. The fans, I think, obviously the originals are doing something. The fans will be trying to, get it going. And if we can get the win, it kicks that. Not kickstarts because, like you say, the first game, but it's a good start and try and build that home form.
It's 4 points in 6. Then that looks good. You start building.
It'd be the same as last year, wouldn't it?
Mm-hmm. But it's trying to build momentum.
I'd like to see the likes of Moise Keane come off the bench and contribute something and get used to the atmosphere. I think if we throw him in, I think if we just threw him in, might be too much too early.
I've been saying this. I think that people need to realise that he needs to get used to the league. It's better not if people say give him 60 minutes and then bring him off. That's the bulk of the game. Then you want him to sort of come on when defenders got a bit more tired legs, let him stretch them, and then he will come in and play eventually. He will start Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I know people go, oh, he's not scoring goal, but people forget last season he was one of our most important cogs when we were playing that style. It was Man United, definitely. Chelsea, them teams. So it's important that people remember that and not forget. Obviously he's not scoring goals, but he's still in part.
It is mad how quickly people want to write off good players. I mean, we've lost 2 of our best players from last season, and then straight away people are like, well, we need to get rid of Sigurdsson and we need to get rid of Dom, and it's like, no, you don't just get rid of players. If you've got good players there ready to come in, you bring them in, you let them get used to the style in training, and then you bring them in, and fitness and everything helps that. But you can't just say, especially when we have lost those players, so we're already trying to accommodate other players to replace that. You don't
want to rip half the team up that was doing, and 2 have gone, so you've got to.
No, because if you, as we said before about bringing so many players, and you keep changing it too quickly and not get a settled side, then you will have them problems that you're trying to forever integrate players. So if you just did go Gabama, Nwobi and Keane against Watford, it might be a bit disjointed at times, and Gabama's is probably better to come off the bench himself, because he still needs to get used to that pace of that league. So yeah,
I fancied him to score Saturday. I'd love him to because I think it's settled everyone down a little bit. He hasn't scored at Goodison since before Christmas, I think.
Yeah, Bournemouth, isn't it?
Oh, sorry, Bournemouth. Yeah, Bournemouth in January. Yeah. So
there was a couple of times where the ball was just cut out before it reached him on Saturday, where I thought he would have had a good chance to score. So sometimes it's just a bit of luck with it. Yeah. Sometimes you can't blame him if the chance is not coming to him. Now, obviously, he's missing 4 or 5 shots, which he didn't on Saturday, to be fair. So
I think, like you said, Keane will eventually be the number 1 striker. That's what he's been bought for. That's what's tempted him to come to Everton. But in the meantime, Dom just needs to keep doing what he's doing, and other people need to work off him. Like
give him chances as well. Create for him. If you're missing them, then you can point the
Right,
thing. He's got to get into the right areas that he doesn't run into enough for me. But it doesn't mean that everything else he does, which is key to the way we play, should be just ripped up and thrown out. Because Moyes Keane, I can't wait to see him. I love him. I love watching him because I love the potential that he's got. But if he comes in, Everton won't play the same way we do with Dom. So we'll have to adjust there. So let's try and get a momentum so that when you're feeding players into that team that's already well-oiled and doing well, they benefit from it. We have to get away from this thing of trying to force people into the team to help make something happen. Let the team play the way it should, and then drop those lovely little bits in of sprinkling in, which then make you a better side.
We've seen at the beginning of last season how a team can transition.
Yeah.
You go back to that first game of the season, Jags playing, Tosun playing, Walcott playing, Richarlison on the left. I know he scored a couple of goals in the game, but we transitioned. Baines played as well, didn't he?
Schneiderlin.
We transitioned so much through the season to what we eventually was the starting team that won those games at home. There's no point just ripping that up straight away. And as we've said, you're missing Zuma, and you're missing, more importantly, you're missing Ghana, which is,
we probably be sat here in April talking about a totally different way the way we play, and not totally different, but a different lineup than what we've seen at the start of the season, because players have been asked to do something. They all know what the manager wants. The team's evolved a little bit, and people have got their strengths, and we're playing to it. Whereas at the moment, you go on what you finished on, don't you? That's what City and Liverpool have done.
Exactly.
They've rolled on from what they've done last season. So
there you have it. Episode 1 of the Toffee TV
Enjoyed
podcast.
that.
Done and dusted.
It's good.
Loads. I mean, the Swan.
The Swan's
the major winner, wasn't it? Swan.
I'm trying to get the house price up. You know what I mean?
The Swan is the biggest takeaway from this.
I think so. I think
it's the winner here.
Jag Jeffrey, the Swan, and my dentist have all been winners out of this personally. But there you go.
Dentists are always winners.
And Compo people on Twitter are the losers.
Have been the losers. So I think that's the takeaway.
That's the takeaway from the podcast this week. Big thanks to Andy. Big thanks to Baz, because he's gone missing for the next few weeks.
I'm literally turning into
a bastard. And on that note, see you later.
See you later.